Now, safety is most important. There's a safety checklist here in the first part of the instructions. I certainly want you to take a look at that. If there is any questions, technically or safety-wise, there's a phone number here for Department 100. That's a technical committee that you can call, ask for Department 100 number. One of us, myself or one of the other team members, will answer your questions. The flange repairing is used to seal a set of flanges that have a leaking gasket. So when you have a set of flanges, a leaking gasket, you cannot shut down. The flange repairing is designed to seal that off. It has 2 rows of seals that contact the perimeter of each flange, and then once the leak is contained, the leak will start coming out the flange bolts. That's where we will inject sealant, which gets around and seals off the original flange bolts. Now what we're going to do for this installation is slide the flange repairing so the gap is centered between the seals. Again, tightening the bolts equally so the gaps come up together fairly uniform. Now what we're going to do is inject sealant through the 2 button head fittings so it can circulate around and seal off the leak coming out the existing flange bolts. In this case, a clear plastic flange allows you to see the sealant flowing around. Begin injecting sealant fairly slowly. You don't want to be overpressurizing the unit by pumping very, very fast. Just put 2 or 3 pumps in, let the sealant move around, a couple of 3, 4 more pumps, let the sealant move around, and so on. Now, as you inject sealant and it moves around the existing flange bolts, you will hear the leak changing in tone and loudness. As that sound does change, slow your rate of injecting down. And just nurse the sealant in the closest button head to the bolt that's leaking until the leak stops. Now once the leak is stopped, just wait for 15 minutes, make sure it doesn't start leaking again. It may weep a little bit as the sealant travels around. You just go to the nearest button head and inject another pump or 2 of sealant until it stops. You don't want to become overzealous at this time with the sealant gun and overpressurize the unit.